didn't think the two-time defending champs were going to go quietly?
Oh, come on, no.
Not at home, not in Game 3. That is for certain. Let's get to the highlights of this one. It was actually a really tight game in the first half, but that all changed in the third quarter. Chelsea Gray inside to Asia Wilson for the bucket there. Later in the quarter, Kelsey Plum, who shot just 2 of 9 in Game 2, much sharper tonight. They crowd into it, and then right out of the timeout, Plum forces a Liberty turnover. High-fives the young fan, who's thrilled. Then later, she lines up a 3 and swirls it home. Aces end the third on a 17-2 run. In the fourth, Wilson to Jackie Young. Aces up by 24. Becky Hammond has to like this. Wasn't pleased with her team coming out of Game 2. There's Wilson inside, 19 and 14 rebounds. And the Aces go on to knock off the Liberty 95-81. The Aces extend their season by in a strong performance from Asia Wilson. Get a measure of revenge, beating the Liberty for the first time in 6 meetings this year. Still, Vegas does have a long way to go. Teams trailing 2-0 in a best-of-5 series have never come back to win in WNBA playoff history. That could change as the teams will stay in Vegas for Game 4, where the Aces have dominated in the postseason. They've won 12 straight on their home court, dating back to 2022, the longest postseason home win streak in WNBA history. And look who we got here. We got Chiney Ogwumike and Andraya Carter to break this one down. All right, so if I asked you guys this morning why the Liberty had won all 5 meetings over the Aces, what would you have said? What comes to mind?
More weapons, more togetherness on both ends of the floor. I would say that would be why they've won.
More depth as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happened tonight?
First
because
of all,
they got blown off the court in the second half.
First of all, put back the brooms, y'all. Yeah. Put back the brooms. The Aces are the back-to-back champs for a reason, because they know how to respond. The Las Vegas Aces were in attack mode, and that started with their all-everything, Asia Wilson. She was tremendous. Yeah. I mean, in the first half, she had almost a double-double, I believe, 13 points, about 8 rebounds, and she finished with 19 and 14, so she really set the tone in the first quarter.
Yeah, but here's the thing. To beat the New York Liberty, when we talk about weapons, it cannot just be Asia. Asia cannot be out there playing 1-on-5. She wasn't playing 1-on-5 tonight. She had support from her guards. Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Tiffany Hayes combined for 65 points, all in double figures. They were aggressive. They were lights out. Literally imagine when you're backed into a corner and your back is against the wall and you give it all you've got. That's exactly what the Aces did.
Tiffany Hayes, by the way, just won the 6th Person of the Year. So she a huge performance again, chipping in tonight, coming off the bench. And now all of a sudden we have ourselves a series. It looks like, the Liberty, they just had dominated the season series all year. But now you come back with an effort like this, Chiney, and you got to, again, take concern from the Liberty side of things and how they're going to knock out this Aces team.
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing that they really struggled with was Sabrina Ionescu. In the fourth quarter of Game 2, she accounted for 16 out of the 19 fourth-quarter points scoring or assisting. They had a game plan. They said, we're going to slow her down. No one is going to beat us other than everyone besides Sabrina is going to beat us. And you can see her shot clock, what do you call it?
Shot chart, yep.
Thank you, right here, 1 for 6. 16% from the field goal, Andrea.
But you know who else I want to give credit to for this Aces performance and who the challenge will now be on? I'm going to give credit to Becky Hammond. Because after Game 2, she said some things, and she pushed the buttons of her play. Basically said they're doing commercials, basically said they were soft, basically said they're giving up layups that were back-breaking. She pushed every button, and the Aces responded. Now it's on Sandy Brondello to find a way to push the buttons of her players to get them to respond.
This is chess, not checkers.
Yes, absolutely. We got to jump in here because we've got Chelsea Gray standing by. Let's get it back over to Amina.
We got the point guard, Chelsea Gray, with us right now. And Chelsea, this game was blown open in the third quarter. The Aces outscoring the Liberty 21-6. What changed in that third quarter for this game?
Man, our defensive intensity was amazing. We were playing both ends of the floor, but when we're able to get stops and rebound, we're really, really hard to play against in our fast breaks and our secondary option, people getting downhill. I mean, just overall a team effort.
And we were just talking about your head coach, Becky Hammond, calling you guys out, talking about commercials, talking about turnovers, all kind of things after Game 2. How did you guys take that criticism and turn it into a win?
I mean, nothing's tighter than that locker room, man. We want the best for each other every single time we step out on the floor. So no matter what was said, what had happened in New York, we were coming here and we wanted to get this dub tonight in front of our fans, and we just did it together on both ends of the floor.
And this is the first time a defending champion has been down 2-0 in a best-of-5. What was the message coming into this game with you guys' backs being up against the wall?
I mean, coming into this season, we were going to try to chase history, and we might as well try to do it again, being down 2-0. So it's just one game at a time. And if you look at the big picture, you know, it's never going to happen. So just taking it one game at a time, one quarter at a time, we were able to do that tonight.
You talk about chasing history. No team has ever come back from being down 2-0. What makes this Aces team different?
Just our focus and our fight and our love for each other in our locker room. We want the best for each other every time we step out there. Our core group that's been together for years, and we've just created something special, a kind of chemistry and a locker room that just, you know, are so together and love for each other. And so we want the best out there on the floor, and it really shows in different plays and in our huddles, in our conversations, and how we compete. And so that was no different tonight.
A big win for this Aces team at Chelsea. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining us here on SportsCenter.
Thank you so much.
Felicia Collier and the Lynx visiting Alyssa Thomas and the Sun. And let's take you to the first quarter. Collier was guarded by Thomas, but she was unstoppable. Take a look at this. Collier gets the wing, makes a tough fadeaway jumper over Thomas. That wasn't the case in the first two games between these two teams. Under 5 minutes to go in the first. Again, Collier, she's gonna get into the lane. Pump fake, shoots over Alyssa Thomas for the bucket. Lynx take a 2-point lead here. 4 minutes left in the first. Collier getting physical with Alyssa Thomas, getting a little bit frustrated. Thomas's and Collier gets into the lane, hits a fadeaway jumper. Collier was 4 of 14 with Alyssa Thomas as her primary defender in games 1 and 2. She's 4 of 4 Friday. Through the first quarter, Lynx lead 23-16 after 1. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. DeWanna Bonner fires from deep, the long-range 3. That was her 1,149 career playoff point. She ties Candace Parker for the second most playoff points all time. Now under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Collier on the wing. Beats her defender, spins into the lane for the and one. Take another look at it. The spin, the finish, the defenders, they've got no chance. Collier would make the free throw, and the Lynx go into the half, leading 48-36. Fourth quarter, Collier again receives a pass down low, easy layup, nice finish, and the Lynx up by double digits at this point. Under 3 minutes left in the fourth, Collier again down low, a fade over to DeWanna Bonner. She had 26 points and 11 rebounds. Lynx go on to win 90-81. Felicia on gaining the series lead post-game.
I think that's the identity of our team. We always have so many assisted baskets. It just shows how well we play together and our chemistry and the way we share the ball.
Coach told us earlier, Fee had a bad shooting night the other night, but just wait for this game. You have 26 and 11, I do believe. When you're thinking about the game and how you made sure that your presence was known, in what ways do you think that you need to carry that over as well?
I think just staying aggressive. Everybody has off nights, of course, but we won the game. That's all that matters. But I knew I needed to come in today being aggressive and keep that for the next game.
A bounce-back game for Felicia Collier. It was a big reason for the Lynx' success tonight was the play of Collier. She had been locked down by Alyssa Thomas in the first 2 games of this series, but seemed to find an answer on Friday. 19 of Collier's 26 points came against Thomas, including going a perfect 5 for 5 from the field in the first half.
You said when you woke up this morning, you felt good. How did you set that tone early in the first half? Becky said she was trying to take you out, and you would not sit down.
You can't sit down in a game like this. This is an elimination game. I cannot sit down. That's looking like giving up. That looked like quitting to me. So I knew I had to come and be just who I needed to be for my team out the gate and make sure that we understood what we needed to do here at home.
You got the support that you needed from your guards tonight. They were all on the same cylinder. What did that feel like out there?
It felt like us. It felt like us. It was just a matter of time that we all started clicking, but we got to sustain this. This is just one game. This is really nothing. We got to continue to go and grow as we try to go to the next level. So they did what they were supposed to do. They came to work and they worked out.
The change to me that showed up the biggest was the defense. It was turned with a T all the way up. What felt different?
Wanting to actually play it. Understanding, and we can't get times where our back's against the wall for us to now play defense. Defense is going to win us a championship. So we had to keep that mindset every single game, and you saw it tonight. We wanted to play defense, we wanted to guard, and we took stuff personal, and that's the way it is. That's the way the game goes. So I'm very proud of how my team showed up today.
First half, as we mentioned, very tight. Neither team led by 5 points at any point in the first half. Then the Aces took over in the third. They outscored the Liberty by 15 coming out of the break. New York had as many turnovers as points in that third quarter. Guys, you know what I took away from that interview with A'ja Wilson is she did not crack a smile the whole time. She's not in that sort of feeling good mode right now. She's like very serious about moving forward in this.
Yeah,
series.
normally she's like that when she wears white tees, but this game she came in dressed like it was New York Fashion Week. But guess what? Shotty Get Live, we're going to 5. I believe this is pushed to 5. I think New York is going to have to respond on their home floor because what we just witnessed, Drea, from the Aces was a complete ball game. Their guards show up, A'ja set the tone. There were chess pieces. They were able to respond to everything New York sort of threw at them. So yeah, this was as good of a performance you can expect from the defending champ.
But A'ja knows as great as this was, the job's not finished. And she knows now the New York Liberty are going to come back with more of an edge and more of a fire. I mean, A'ja is a champion for a reason. She's a 3-time MVP for a reason. She knows they have to win 2 more games and then play an entirely different series to win the championship. That's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for A'ja and the Aces is a 3-piece. She knows what's up.
Showing the heart of a champion.
What's that quote? Like,
job's not finished.
no, something about like, until you get punched in the mouth. Like, fight doesn't start until you get punched in the
yeah.
mouth.
Oh,
I think it was
yeah, that's it.
That's what happened to the New York Liberty.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
The
There
New
you
York
go.
Liberty got punched in the mouth. We'll see how they respond now.
Okay, let these guys give us their thoughts on what happened tonight, but we want to spin this whole thing forward, and for that we send it over to Amina.
Yeah, Carolyn Peck hanging out here with me. And guys, I wish that I had y'all to hype me up like that. The way you guys are just hyping up, taking with the highlights. But we were talking about Becky Hammon calling out her team and talking about commercials, talking about what they need to do, the turnovers that they had in Game 2. How did the Aces respond to those criticisms that Becky Hammon put out there?
I think that was taken out of context because what I think happened is, look, when the Aces came into when Becky Hammon came to the Aces, they won 2 championships in a row. So their players were pulled in a lot of different directions. So that's what she's talking about with having distractions. The other thing is not being focused. I don't think that that's what she was saying at all. She was talking about the rest of the league. They were pissed off because the Aces won 2 championships. They beefed up their battle, the army that they had, and it's not going to be easy to win 3 championships.
Oh, yeah.
They've proven that it's not easy, but they showed today that they're willing to do what's hard. And it wasn't only the defense, but it was paying attention to the game plan. They had to get the ball to A'ja Wilson first, establish the MVP, then everybody else. They ate. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum went to work. Tiffany Hayes, 6th Woman of the Year, came in and played some lockdown defense.
No team has ever come back from being down 2-0. And I know you heard me ask Chelsea Gray what's going to make this team different, but are they in it heading into Game 4? Can the Aces pull this off?
This Aces team is built to be different. I mean, when you look at what A'ja Wilson has done this season and the records that she has broken, why not the Aces to change kind of that, the talk of you go down 2-0, it's over? Well, not the Aces, not the way they played tonight. And this score didn't even really demonstrate what a spread it was. From the jump, the Aces, they jumped on the New York Liberty. They took Sabrina Ionescu out of this game and played a lot of Courtney Vandersloot. But the offense for the Aces continued to build confidence throughout the game, and they never took their foot off the gas. The concern was, okay, after the first half, were the Aces going to get tired? Were they going to give in? That third quarter, they came in and turned it up another. They only gave up 6 points.
That's insane.
In that third quarter.
Outscored them 21-6. They flipped the switch in that third quarter, which is why they got that win. And we're looking to Game 4 to see if they can pull this thing off. A very interesting series between the Liberty and the Aces. Thanks so much, Carolyn, for your insight.